So I saw the first Horrible Bosses movie when I was on a plane either to or from Turkey during my Turkey trip. So I enjoyed that film. So I was really anxious to see what my perception of Horrible Bosses 2 would be, not very, very tired and sleep deprived. So let's see. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell. This is my Thanksgiving break, and so this is coming from my white room. Now today I'm going to be talking about the film Horrible Bosses 2. Like I said earlier, I saw the first one on a plane to or from Turkey, so going into this one on the big screen was a little bit interesting. First off, there are a lot of stars in this film, so I'm not going to talk about all of them in detail because that would make this really long. So the main three that we deal with is Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, and Charlie Day. These are the main three people that we dealt with in the first film, and they're back to reprise their roles in the sequel. They start with the movie trying to invent a product called the Shower Buddy, and they make a deal with Christoph Waltz's character and Chris Pine's character to produce 100,000 units. When Waltz decides to back out of the deal and they're basically looking at being bankrupt, they decide to kidnap Chris Pine, and things go awry from there. Christoph Waltz does a really nice job. He's not really in the movie a ton, but he is good in the role that he has. Chris Pine is more the central character between the two of them, and he does a nice job. The only real thing that I've seen him in besides Star Trek is Unstoppable with Denzel Washington, so it's kind of nice to see him in this type of role now. Jennifer Aniston is also in this movie as a sex addict, and she kind of approaches that idea a lot in the film. She is still very much a seductress. She does a really nice job in the movie as well. She's much more involved in the movie this time around too, which I liked, and she just does a nice job in the film. Jamie Foxx is also in this movie reprising his role. He's the guy who our three heroes go to for advice on criminal matters and ways, and he does a nice job. He's not really in the movie a lot, except for like little bits and pieces here and a little bit towards the end. And then lastly, Kevin Spacey just steals the, I think, 2 scenes that he's in this movie, and he does a really good job. You cannot beat Kevin Spacey, and it's really fun seeing him after House of Cards and Advanced Warfare, just seeing him in this role and seeing these other 2 roles that he's like just a master of, and it's kind of neat to see him go back to this type of role where he's not the star of the production, but he is still really, really good and gives it his all. So I really respect Kevin Spacey for that. The one thing that really did bug me about this movie is how kind of overly ridiculous it was at times. Some of the jokes just kept going on and on and on. Some of the situations that these 3 people got in were also very, very ridiculous. Jason Sudeikis and Charlie Day, their characters were basically the idiots of this group. Jason Bateman is the brains. He's the one who's realistic. He knows how to do stuff. He is the smart person in this group. And so it got really old when we saw these 2 characters just bickering between each other, just basically throwing out idiotic ideas. And Jason Bateman is just getting fed up with everything and just being the smart, realistic person that anyone else would be in this situation, I would think. And so that was something which really bugged me in terms of that balancing. But that being said, the movie is for the most part very funny. I found myself laughing a lot at a lot of the jokes, and it is a very rated R movie, so there's stuff in there that's rated R for. But it is for the most part very, very funny and very humorous, and it keeps a lot of the humor that was in the first one alive. The trailer did not show every joke from the movie, which I really liked. It does have all the jokes from the trailer in the film, which sometimes films don't choose to do. So I did like that. But the jokes, when they went past the point where they went in the trailer, it seemed like they were going too long almost. So yeah, I'm being very picky with this review for some reason. The movie is also slightly predictable from the outset, where a certain character is kidnapped. I had a very basic idea of how this movie was going to end, because it's just kind of a given, I think, based on how this character is as a human being. And so I don't know, there wasn't a huge amount of suspense for me. There were a few times where I doubted it, but ultimately I was, for the most part, correct. It's also kind of slow in the middle. It kind of slows down, kind of builds on that ridiculousness that I was talking about earlier, and then it keeps going. The ending is actually really good. I really liked that. That was one of the highlights of the film, is like the last 30 minutes or so. But building up to it, the beginning is kind of interesting, and then just the middle is just kind of a mixed bag for me. There is a end credit sequence-y thing where they show bloopers of all the main characters and use that as like their character stills when they're showing their names in the credits, so I did like that, and I thought that was kind of humorous and a cool thing to include. But I mean, for the most part, would I recommend seeing Horrible Bosses 2 in theaters? Probably not. You could probably just rent this when it comes out or just watch it on Netflix or something. It's not nearly that good of a movie, I don't think, but it is still funny. It is still humorous. I did, for the most part, enjoy my time with it. I just probably would not go see it again anytime soon. I probably wouldn't buy it right away when it comes out. So that's my thoughts on Horrible Bosses 2. Let me know if you saw it down in the comments down below, and let me know what you thought of it. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you so choose, I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.